Few left. Let's knock this up.
Mike, you're a few weeks into the season. How are you feeling? How's your body? How's everything going on?
I feel good, man. Not the best since we lost last week, but I feel pretty good. Like I said, we just got to keep guys healthy and just keep rolling.
Michael, you said you got to keep guys healthy. I mean, you've been through a lot of different kinds of season. I mean, when you have all these injuries in the first few weeks of the season, do you have to fight to sort of stay positive at all, or I mean, is you guys just used to dealing with that at this point?
I think you get used to it. I think it kind of can be shocking for like younger guys, like rookies. But like I said, once you've been, I would say probably 2 to 3 years in the league, you just kind of get used to it. But like I said, people's roles change, and that's kind of where you see guys step up and or fall off. So, T-Rob has done an amazing job, especially on our D-line, of just stepping up when he's needed. So, it's just kind of like a call to action. And like I said, the games don't change, but the people do. So it's kind of how you deal with it.
Speaking of injuries, I mean, obviously they just lost Nick Chubb recently, but how challenging is it going up against that Cleveland run game that we know has been really productive for a few years?
Yeah, I mean, Kareem Hunt is a mainstay for them. He's been there, 3 or 4 years? So he's familiar. He played last week. Their offensive line is really, really good, one of the tops in the league. So it's a difficult game, but I think we had the men that's built for the job. Me and myself, Travis, Herb, Brody, Beaks, obviously. So it's going to be on us to establish a line of scrimmage and kind of make them at least stutter their feet and go backside or go where the runs aren't planned to go. So, like I said, I think we got the men for the job, along with Roquan and all those guys as well. But it's definitely been placed on us to set the tone for the game and move forward from there.
Did you see a difference in Johnson last week compared to previous games?
Yeah, he was more accurate. I'm not the most I probably would say I'm probably the least guy to pay attention to the quarterback as far as like throws down the field. But no, he was definitely more accurate and more precise with the ball. They had some miscues, but no, he I would say he's always been elusive. He did make a lot of guys miss a lot of sacks, which we struggled with a little bit last week. So they just kind of emphasized that at practice, just making sure we break down our feet and try to, get our bodies in front of him. But no, he does a great job of making guys miss and looking for those second plays and getting the ball downfield after the initial play breaks down.
Michael, when you're going up against a team that has the #1 defense, does that kind of invigorate you and your fellow defenders to try and outclass them, outperform them, more so than just traditionally playing against another defense?
So I would say we strive to be the #1 defense. We aren't there at the moment, but definitely. But this is like Cleveland Browns with Baltimore Ravens. It's always been a big hit, take a punch, throw a punch kind of game. So, we definitely are aware that they're #1. And like I said, they have an amazing front. Obviously, we know Z and all those guys, so play with Dalvin. So, we definitely want to outplay them. But at the end of the day, that #1 spot is still up for grabs until the season's over. So that's what we're striving for.
Michael, you've been through these AFC North road games before. Is there anything about Cleveland that is different from going to Pittsburgh or Cincinnati? Is there anything, you mentioned hard-hitting games. Does anything stick out about when you play there?
I would just say from the last year or so, we haven't had the best run defense when we went there. Well, they ran well when they were here, but I wouldn't say so. I mean, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, they're all kind of the same to me. Especially in the trenches. Like I said, we've been playing against Nick Chubb there, and you know how great he is. So I think it's just really, like I said, just take a punch, throw a punch. It's been that way with Pittsburgh, especially when they had like Le'Veon Bell and all those guys and the Pouncey guys. So I would relate it to that. Just another hard-hitting, fun game to play in if you're in the trenches.
Does the defense take anything extra about going into an enemy territory and maybe being motivated by everyone being against you? Is there anything that fuels you about that?
I say it's satisfying when you take the life out of that crowd and it goes silent. I've been a part of some really good defenses here, and we've done that on a few occasions. So that's what you strive for. And if you can get to a point, probably third or fourth quarter, where they don't have any momentum and that crowd is really silent, that really, really feels really good.
Like, how exciting is it to get Marcus Williams back on the practice field? Just, a few weeks ago, didn't know if you guys were even going to have him the rest of the year.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, he's one of our leaders. So anytime he can just be around, be out here, no matter the capacity, it always makes you feel good. Anytime you get any of your guys back, we'll get Marlon back at some point. Those guys who are working to get healthy, Tyus as well. So anytime you can get a guy like Marcus back who changes the game in a blink of an eye, that's always good to just have that energy back and have those guys who you can really, really rely on back. So no, it's awesome.
Like how much pride you guys take stopping the run. Moss had a few runs last week. What did you see, and I guess how much more determined that makes you guys are down at that?
We had a misalignment on the first play of the game, and we had some misfits. So it's really hard to disseminate to the public how much one person being out of place or lining up wrong really makes a difference. But I can't stress to y'all enough, like, that's super, super important. So when I say, like, oh, we didn't line right, that's like a big, big deal. And you can really, really see if you watch film how that affects the defense. So obviously that's on us, getting the calls and lining up right, and then, executing the calls when we do have those missteps. But like I told, me and Brody were talking about it earlier, just every play somebody may make a misstep or may miss an assignment, but it's about those other 10 guys who can cover that up and then keep going. So.
One more from Michael.
Michael, one of the big picture trends on offense across the league is like shorter passes, less time to get the ball out for quarterbacks.
Right.
When you're out there on a passing down, has that like fundamentally changed your technique or your approach, the way you go about your job?
Yeah, I mean, I would say also I wasn't out there a lot initially, but they called on me to do that this year. Yeah, you definitely see a lot of different short passes and then just RPOs in general. So those are intended to slow guys like myself down, especially the bigger guys who have to get themselves moving, play the run first, and then go out, vice versa from the ends. So, no, it definitely changes my approach. It also changes the way you kind of attack things. So I think Mike McDonald does a great job of just mixing up different calls to get us moving, even though they might have different scenarios depending on the down and distance.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
Sure. Yeah.